energized for this week. We've got a great show for you lined up. Dave, Tay, Barry, the Dak.
Oh, yeah,
that's all I do with it.
It's all in the hips.
Nothing else. I'll do this all day long.
I won't do it.
I like that one. Okay, first up, what is poppin'? We got to start off our show with the fact that the Cowboys are 6-4 now, and there seemed to be a little powwow before the game that the people out there are talking about. Are we looking too much into this with head coach Jason Garrett?
Yeah, I think we are. I think in life, as in football, communication is always key. They had to have some talks last week. It's midway through the season. They're about to go on a long stretch. Jane's tweet, he was asked about it yesterday on The Fan, and he said, we really don't want to get into that. And the biggest thing here, guys, where's the tangible evidence that this is actually going to be a turning point? Last year, you could look at it and you could see Amari Cooper has joined this team. He's made the difference. But where is it for a team meeting? Barry, you know this. You had him.
Yeah, I could say this team meeting, I think it was important for the coach and the players to get an understanding. But as far as a turning point, I don't see that happening. I think the turning point, if they do make a playoff run, will occur when they realize, hey, Dak Prescott is what we need to get to this to the promised land, and we need to go only as far as he can go.
I mean, we absolutely should. Taylor's absolutely right. Like, you can't see a turning point until later. Yeah. You know, like if they turn around and lose 2 games in a row, was it a turning point? No. So I don't know. I'm just like, you're a player. I feel like these types of meetings probably happen on the reg.
Oh yeah.
They only become storylines.
Right?
They only become storylines when they get out or when it's like after a big game. So, I mean, good for Jason Garrett for clearing the air, but I feel like that probably happens like twice a week.
Oh, it does.
You said that was going to happen last week.
It does.
All right, that's what's popping. We might have to revisit that later on if this indeed turns out to be a turning point. But what we do have for you today, unfortunately, injury report. This is what people are talking about right now, and the big one is Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
That's the big one. We'll be having. Yes.
Oh, shouts out to our producers for the Amari Cooper graphic. Lost count. I can't keep track of it all. No, where is the lie?
It's 5. So below the knee. So there's that.
AB is going to injured reserve, which sucks. If you want to think about it in the long term, he could be done in Dallas. He's in a contract year. You never want to end a contract with an injury, hoping for the best for him. And yeah, he'll definitely be missed if that's the question we're asking ourselves. I mean, yeah, you have Jordan Lewis, but all of a sudden, all that cornerback depth doesn't look so great when you only have 3 guys as opposed to 4. So yes, absolutely, this could be a problem.
Well, you have 2 guys on the practice squad, Donovan Alumba and DJ White. So they'll probably elevate those guys this week. But yeah, I mean, you already needed safety and cornerback depth, and now you're hurt even more.
Yeah, this is a tough loss, especially for AB going into his contract year. This happened with me back when I tore my Achilles in 2012, going into a contract year. Luckily enough, they ended up giving me a contract while I was hurt.
While you were hurt, that's how good you were.
Yeah, hopefully he can bounce back from this.
We're big fans of Anthony Brown in this room, like all of us. Lyle Collins, though, is going to be day-to-day. Keep an eye on it. And, of course, Amari Cooper, he's going to be limited going forward.
Dr. Jerry Jones is always really clutch about this. He went on 105 through the Fan here in Dallas this morning. It's early in the week. You got to watch it, but he feels good about Amari Cooper, feels good about Tank Lawrence, feels good about Lyle Collins, feels good about Jeff Heath. He basically said he's optimistic. All those guys can play against the Patriots, so watch it, but it's good news.
I feel like they all want to play against the Patriots. Wouldn't you want to go up there,
Game
do
of the
that?
week, you got to.
Game of the week.
Tweet, like, or block. Here we go. First one for you guys, especially coming after this game. Might be a little swayed. Cowboys have the top 2 wide receivers in the NFC East.
I'm going to retweet that.
Big time retweet.
Retweet, that's easy.
With Deshaun Jackson out injured, like what are your other options?
Exactly.
There is an argument here that they could be the top 2 wide receivers in the whole NFL. I mean, both of these guys are averaging over 80 yards per game. They are just...
You really took that and ran with it.
I'm saying 1 and 2 right now. If they play the way they do, I think there's a true argument that they are the best in the NFL.
I might give you best duo. Like the best duo.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you meant the best 2 receivers in the NFL.
That's what I was
All right, me and Barry misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
I'm explaining myself 1 and 2.
Okay,
that's fine.
A and B.
I'd have to think about that. I wasn't ready to have
Jarvis
that
Landry,
argument.
Odell? No.
I mean,
Sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have a point there.
I got another one for you guys.
All right.
Okay.
You can see the Cowboys special teams unit potentially costing this team a game. I don't want to retweet this because I don't want anyone to see it, but I'm definitely going to like this.
Didn't they already do that against the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to block it just because I don't want to throw that bad juju out there for them. But they got to step it up somehow, some way. I mean,
not only for bringing punts back, there's really not much there from this Cowboys team, but also you're seeing teams get big returns on the Cowboys. So all around, and then you have the Brett Maher, just the up and down roller coaster of that.
Yeah, it's easy to focus on Brett Maher, but the punt return and kick return game was scary in that Lions game. And and I mean, the punt return was a problem against the Vikings. That's what I was bringing up. So yes, it absolutely could cost them in the future. They have to tighten it up.
This is just a tweet we scroll past. Like, we see it, we acknowledge it. This is it.
keep it rolling, huh?
This is,
you can see likes.
You're just like said that.
You can see likes on the timeline. Just get it off the screen.
All right, the next one, roll that footage. This is the best touchdown celebration of the year.
I gotta like this one for sure. I mean, this is original,
wild.
unique.
How have we not seen? My question is, how have we not seen this before? Honestly,
you're right. And Jacoby Brissett is involved. Like, the whole offense is involved. Anytime an offensive lineman
he's a big guy.
doing a celebration, I'm here for it.
He lifted up the biggest guy.
I kind of hate myself for blocking it. I'm gonna block it.
Wow.
Which, like, I don't get why. Like, I like beer. Well, I'm glad you brought up the Seahawks, because for me it's the NSYNC dance. Like back when they did that like a month ago. Coordinated. I don't know. The keg stand was fine.
I see that every weekend. I don't need to see it on the football field.
Wow.
Okay, we've got some numbers. By the numbers for you. First one, Dallas leads the league in 400+ yard games. How many of those games? Dang.
I mean,
400+ yard game leads the league.
It just goes to show you how explosive and how dangerous this offense can be. I mean, even though your running back is averaging less than 3 yards per carry, if you can do that for over 400 yards with just your quarterback's arm alone, I mean, this is a dangerous offense going forward.
I will say, if you log on to the internets and you see a lot of the Cowboys fans talking,
you would never do that.
I'm never there. Just kidding. I look. They're angry, and this is why. Because you're 6-4 with this type of offense and these performances throughout the season.
It's a weird season, and I know that kind of alludes to the defense, and that has been a problem for the Cowboys, but that's the weird thing, is like the offense has been culpable in some of these losses too. I mean, didn't play well against the Saints. That was not one of their 8 400-yard games. Way too many turnovers against the Packers. It's been a weird year. If you had told me they'd be #1 at this point.
Okay, boom. Wow, next number. Here we go. The amount of games that Zeke has been held under 75 yards.
And they are 1-4 in those games. They got their first win last week when that has happened. And you think about some of those other performances. That is the Rams playoff game. That was a bad one. The Denver game. I mean, some of these other games, they have just been abysmal on offense. Now, last week you saw that when that happened, they were able to have the Dak attack offense where he was going to give 2 100-yard receiving games to Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb.
I'm going to push to the next one, because this is a number that we all need to talk about. The number of 20 yards or more plays given up against Detroit.
I mean, this was surprising to me, especially from a team that doesn't have their star player and their star quarterback. A Jeff Driscoll-led offense, giving up 7.
Speed, though.
He does have some speed.
But this was, I watched the game here. Barry and I do pre and post together, and there were a lot of times where the back end of this Cowboys defense had some major miscues without Jeff Heath out there. And other guys going out of the game.
They don't need these legs.
They just need your insight, maybe.
This is true.
They just need your consulting.
Jerry Jones said this morning they got to tackle better. And I mean, yeah, you watch that game, you know it's true. It's emblematic of what this season's been like.
Yeah, up and down.
And 7 explosive plays.
That doesn't happen again to a backup quarterback. Anyways,
hope it doesn't happen against
2
the best
minute
quarterback to
drill
ever
time.
play.
I'm getting my popcorn out to listen to what you guys have to say, because the question is, where does Dak Prescott rank in the top tier quarterbacks of this league? Is he sneaking into this MVP discussion?
He is. He is. I mean, I'm here for this discussion. If you turn on any national TV shows, this is the discussion that everyone is having right now. Yes, you're looking at Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP. Of course, Lamar Jackson seems to be running away with it quite literally. But Dak Prescott is a top-tier quarterback. He has 38 wins since coming into this league in 2016. Only trails Tom Brady, who a lot of people think is the best player to ever play football. So if you're looking at this season, Dak Prescott is showing you that he is one of the best. And this isn't the first time. His rookie year, he was considered an MVP as well.
If I'm doing the mental math right now, okay, Brady's the GOAT. That's fine. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. Then you got Lamar and Russell Wilson. I'll throw in Pat Mahomes too. Okay, that's 5. I don't think there's anybody else that you can definitively say is better than Dak or is playing better than Dak right now.
And if you go by just this year alone, I mean, I don't even know if you throw Brady in there if you go just this year alone.
Okay, how about we swap Brady and Breeze? Because Brady really hasn't been playing. And I mean, the dude's 41 years old. Like, obviously, Father Time's going to catch up with you at some point. The point being, you cannot sit here and tell me there's more than a handful of quarterbacks in this league that are better than Dak. The only thing truly holding him out of the MVP conversation is the record.
Well, and that's the thing. I think you said it last week after they lost to the Vikings. If they had won that game, he would have been back in the MVP conversation, and they would be saying, okay, Dak is the highest paid quarterback this year. And you just talked about it. The top guys, they're in the last years of their career. You're looking at Breeze, Rivers. I mean, Eli Manning isn't even playing this year. All of those guys that wore the top tier QBs are on their way out.
It's so funny how quickly the narrative can change in the NFL because Dak's about to play Tom Brady in a nationally televised game. Then he is the only thing on for the next 2 weeks. Thanksgiving Day and then a Thursday night game against the Bears. If he keeps doing this on that stage, trust me, he's going to be right there at the top.
Big
trust.
What's going to happen if the Cowboys go on the road and break the Patriots' 20 home game win streak? Dak Prescott just takes over. What will happen?
This building will be on fire.
I mean,
this building's going to lose its mind. The league is going to lose its mind. And it'll be like nothing bad ever happened.
The watch party. That is where you should be.
Yes.
It's going down. It's going down.
Are we doing maybe a giveaway, did I hear?
You did hear that correct. Yeah, go to our Twitter.
Go to our Twitter. We're giving away a signed thing for absolutely free.
And Barry will hang out with you at the watch party.
I'll be there.
Like, I'm assuming it's like a drink poster or something.
It's a hat. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oops.
For free.